to everyone. My name is Jagriti Joshi, and today we are going to study chapter 5th Coal and Petroleum from class 8 science textbook. Before studying the topic coal and petroleum, we should be aware about this term resource. This term resource you have studied in your earlier classes also. So resource is something that by using those products we can make our life easier. So resource is something that by using those products we can make our life easier. Resource is divided into two parts, natural and man-made. Natural resource is something that is given to us or gifted to us by God. And man-made resource is something that is made by us to make our life easier. Examples of the natural resources are air, water, sunlight. All these resources are given to us by God so that we can, by using these resources, we can make our life easier. And man-made resources is something bridges, parks, dams, roads, buildings. So by using all these resources, we can make our life easier. Now, natural resources is further divided into two parts: exhaustible natural resources and inexhaustible natural resources. If we talk about before studying these terms, we should be aware about this term exhaust. Exhaust means vanish. So, exhaustible natural resource means those resources that are present in a nature, those resources that are present in a nature in a limited quantity. Exhaust means that can easily vanish. So, exhaustible natural resource means those resources that are present in a nature in a limited quantity. If we talk about the examples are coal, petroleum and natural gas. And if we come to the inexhaustible natural resource, it is nothing but those resources that are present in a nature in an unlimited quantity. If we make use of these resources, it never gets vanished. For example, air and sunlight. So, our main topic comes under the exhaustible natural resource category, that is coal, petroleum, and natural gas. If we make misuse of these resources can easily vanish, not in just 1 or 2 days. It can vanish it can take time, but over a time, one day will come that it can be easily vanished. So, exhaustible natural resource is those resources that are present in a nature in a limited quantity. So we should make use of these resources. We should use these resources wisely. And examples are coal, petroleum, and natural gas. So from here, your topic begins. First, we will discuss coal, how coal forms, what its appearance, color, uses, story of the coal, and many more. Talking about its formation, it formed from the dead remains of the living organisms. How does it form? From the dead remains of the living organisms. Those living organisms who were dead remains, and over a million of years they start decaying. So it's nothing but it is called as the fossil fuel. So you should remember this term, that coal, petroleum, and natural gas are called as the fossil fuel that formed from the dead remains of the living organisms over millions of years. It not just take 1 day or 2 days. It take millions of years. I have written an important note also that can be useful to you. That is, fossil fuel is equals to exhaustible natural resource is equals to coal, petroleum, and natural gas. In other words, we can say you can call coal, petroleum, natural gas is an exhaustible natural resource, or you can call it as a fossil fuel because they form from the dead remains of the living organisms. Please remember this term. They form from the dead remains of the living organisms, and it takes millions of years. Please remember this. It is very, very important. Okay, I hope you are getting my point. Now, if we move towards its appearance, how does it look like? It is hard as stone. It is hard as stone. If we talk about its color, it is black in color. You have seen in you have seen in real life also. You have seen in movies also. You can see that it is black in color. Now, if we talk about its uses, used to cook food. Nowadays we have LPG cylinders, we have LPG gas pipelines, but earlier it was used to cook the food. You have seen women's also in rural areas. It was used by the women in the kitchen to cook the food. Earlier used in railway engines to produce steam to run the engine. You have seen in most of the movies, in old movies, that an actor was just throwing the coal in engine to, so that it can produce steam, so that engine can run or train can run forward faster. So earlier used in railway engines to produce steam to run the engine. Used in thermal power plant to produce electricity. There are three uses of the coal: used to cook food, earlier used in railway engines to produce steam, and used in thermal power plant to produce electricity. Now we talk about the story of the coal, as it's not that important from the examination point of view. But yes, you should be aware as it is given in your textbook. So you should be a little bit aware about how what is the story of the coal, what is the process behind the story of the coal, how we get the coal. So basically, uh, 300 I have written this in a flow chart so that you can easily make yourself comfortable by understanding this. 300 million years ago, Earth has a dense forest in its low-lying wetland areas. Okay, 300 millions ago, Earth has a dense forest in low-lying wetland areas. Natural process came: flooding, forest covered with sand. Earth has dense forest. Natural process came: flooding. Flood came. All the forest covers with the sand. It's not just one. It's not just a story about one flood. Many floods came and floods covered the forest with the sand. After covering the forest with the sand, forest or the plants present in the forest becomes dead, and under high pressure and temperature, as the forest is covered with the sand, there is a there is an increase in temperature and pressure, so they start decaying, and all it leads to the formation of coal. I have told you earlier also that coal forms from the dead remains of the living organisms, and living and as we all know, plants are the living organisms. So now, so from here, after all this process, we get the coal. Now you have seen two terms written in black, written in this black marker, that coal contains carbon. Yes, of course, coal contains carbon. When you heat the coal, you get carbon dioxide. So coal is mainly form of the carbon. And all this process, all this slow process, why I am saying this slow process? Because it takes millions of years. It's not just a story about 1 or 2 days. It takes millions of years, and all this slow process of converting this dense forest into coal, into all this transformation of dense forest into coal is nothing but it is called as carbonization. Now we will going to study about the products of the coal. So when coal get processed in industry, we get useful products. How many useful products we get? We get three useful products. It is coke, coal tar, and coal gas. Product one is coke, product two is coal tar, and product three is coal gas. We will study it one by one. Coming to the product one, that is coke. We will going to study about its characteristics and its uses. Talking about its characteristics, it is tough, it is strong, it is porous. If anybody is unaware about this term porous, porous means a substance having tiny pores through which air and sunlight can easily cross, or water can easily cross. So it is a tough, porous and black substance. As we all know that coal is a black substance, so obviously its product going to be a black color substance. It is tough, porous and black substance, almost purest form of carbon. Why I am saying it is an almost purest form of carbon? Because coal contains carbon content. Most of the coal is made up of carbon. Mostly carbon. Coal is made up of mostly carbon. So it is an almost purest form of carbon. Remember this thing, that product number two, coal tar, and product number three, coal gas. It is not an almost purest form of carbon. It is only the coke which is the purest form of carbon. And it is not proper purest form of carbon, it is almost purest form of carbon. Please remember. Now talking about its uses, it is very much helpful, it is very much useful in manufacturing of steel and extraction of the metals. Please remember these uses, these are very much important. It is very much useful in manufacturing of steel and extraction of the metals. Now, coming on the product number 2, talking of coal tar. Talking about its characteristics, black, thick liquid with an unpleasant smell. Black, thick liquid with an unpleasant smell. Coal tar you have seen in metalling of roads also. You have seen many workers working on the road on on leveling it, or you can say on metalling it. In that and by using the metallic thing, they use this coal tar. So coal tar you have seen in on mantling of the roads also, that it is a black thick liquid with an unpleasant smell. It's a mixture of about 200 substances. Please remember this numeric figure. It is a mixture of about 200 substances. Very important. Talking about its uses, products obtained from the coal tar, the products obtained from the coal tar used as a starting material, products obtained from the coal tar used as a starting material in the manufacturing of various substances. The products that we obtained from the coal tar, it used as a starting material in the manufacturing of the various substances like dyes, perfumes, paints, roofing material, etc. I hope you are getting my point. Now there is an important note. Napkin balls you have seen in your houses. There is a napkin ball that your mother uses, to protect the warm clothes. So napkin balls are also obtained from coal tar. Nowadays, for the metalling of roads, bitumen is used instead of the coal tar. It is also given in your book. So it is one of the important points. Please remember this. Now, coal tar is not used in the leveling or metalling of the roads. But earlier, coal tar was used. Now, it's the bitumen product which is used in the metalling of roads. Now, we come to the product number 3, that is coal gas. Talking about its formation, how coal gas form. When we process the coal from to the coke, when we are processing this process, when we are processing coal from the coke, we get coal gas. I hope you are getting the point. When we are processing coal and to get the coke, and that processing process, we get the coal gas. When we are processing the coal to get the product number 1, that is coke, that processing in that give rise to coal gas. Talking about its uses, earlier it was used in street lighting in London in 1810, and after that it was used in New York in 1820. But now it is used as a source of heat rather than source of light.